Today we're going to talk about the most important thing in playing a game of Magic the Gathering Tactics, and that is building a good spell book. Now, your spell book is your collection of figures and spells. These are the actual pieces that you're bringing to the digital tabletop. Now, there's a lot of rules that you have to follow, but there's also a lot of common sense that you have to employ when building a good spell book. Some of the key things you're going to need to be aware of. Your opponent could have flyers. Your opponent could also have direct damage. If perhaps you have a spell book that's based mainly on keeping yourself alive, you better make sure you have some offense in there as well. A good review of your figures and spells is a good way to start. Start with the color. What color do you want to build? Let's say, for example, that you want to build a red-black spell book. Exactly half of your spell book is red and half of it is black. Every turn you're going to generate 1 mana as indicated on the mana wheel on the screen's UI. That's going to be either red or black. Next, you want to look at the creatures, because this is going to be your primary way of dealing damage in this game. Since this is a tactics game, you want to make sure that you have creatures that you can perhaps get into play fast, that will cover multiple environments, and actually help support the strategy that you want. Perhaps you want something that helps mana generation like green. Perhaps you want creatures that regenerate like black. We've got all different types of creatures in Magic the Gathering Tactics. You like dragons? We've got them. You probably want to have a nice balance of creatures and spells in your spell book. Let's talk about spells. Now, spells do all sorts of powerful things. There's a lot of spells that you'll recognize from the trading card game. Doomblade, Healing Salve, Regeneration. There'll be a lot of spells from Magic the Gathering that you'll recognize immediately, and there'll be easy choices in your spell book. Once you've got your spellbook completed, you can click on the button in the bottom right-hand corner of the UI. This will give you the stats. Now, this is a very cool feature in Magic the Gathering Tactics, because this will tell you what the composition of your spellbook looks like. By using these tools, you can then see if the spellbook is properly tuned, if this is what you want to enter play with. Once you've got it tuned nicely, once the spellbook stats look like the way you want them to look, then head into the tournaments, try it out, see how it works.
Sony.